A friend of mine, Jordan, Blue East Coast, asked me to show any World War II stuff that was around the town that I'm in. To be honest, there isn't actually that much. There's a plaque in the main square about a book burning in 1933. There's a war memorial, but it's from World War I. There seems to be a lot more World War I memorial stuff than anything else. But there is one interesting little thing that you see around the town. They're called Stolpersteine, which I'm sure I'll get the pronunciation wrong. And it's an art project that was done by a guy called Gunter Demning. He started in 1993, and what it does is it commemorates the houses of Jewish people or people that were persecuted by the Nazis, and it puts little brass plaques out the front of the houses where they were. Here's a pair of them now. What it says is he lived, Nina Meyer, born 1890, deported to Auschwitz and murdered in 1942, and presumably 6 years younger was her husband Max Meyer. So these are around the town. I've seen half a dozen or so just in this little town. There's 13,000 of them scattered over Germany. This project's been running, like I said, since 1993, 1994, and it's turned out to be quite controversial, and quite rightly so. These plaques sit out in the pavement out the front of people's houses, and for many reasons people don't necessarily want to be reminded of the past, and there's for quite valid reasons. I mean, if you had to walk out the front of your house every day knowing that people have been taken away and killed from there, you probably wouldn't be very happy. And various towns have had various reactions to it. For example, you don't see these in Munich. Munich made a political decision not to put them in, and there's an objection as well that effectively people are walking on the names of the dead, which is another good reason. I mean, you see around the town they've got litter or chewing gum or whatever on them, and in some places they've apparently been removed or defaced. And I talked to some people the other day about them, and the reactions range from people who literally had never noticed them. When I said what I was talking about, they just had not noticed, through to quite dramatic objections to them. It's interesting that in Germany there's a feeling that the things of World War II should be let go, and they're being made to feel guilty for stuff that isn't their fault. What's interesting to me as an outsider is that we don't see it that way at all. I personally find quite a significant delineation between what happened here in World War II and the people that I meet now. It's a different world. It genuinely was that long ago. But it's interesting that it is played down, because it's a fascinating part of history, and in some ways the history itself is not able to be separated from the country. But I don't know of anyone that genuinely sees a connection between then and now, and in some ways it's the Germans themselves that are beating themselves up over it. It's not an externally imposed guilt. Yeah, anyway, those little plaques are an interesting little way of humanising that without making it too big and dramatic. It's not the big memorial in Berlin, it's just a simple little reminder. But, like I said, it's a reminder that a lot of people don't necessarily want in their towns. But I guess with all things that relate to it, to object is to be seen to deny stuff in its own right, which isn't fair either way. So you see them, there's 13,000 of the little stones. Stolpersteine means stumbling blocks, and I think they're in 280 cities, and like I said, it just brings a little bit more of a human face to what went on. So if you're after World War II stuff, it's around, but you really have to know where to look for it.